Hey man, it's Brother Robbie going on right here. I wanted to do a quick video here in regards to my response to protest against Trump. It's not just happening in Portland, that's where I live, so I was actually down there. I'm going to show you some of the footage of the shots that I took, and then a news clip as well where I'm filming them. And the next part here is got a little bit later. This is where the news came in there, and it was actually quite huge right there. And towards the end, I'm going to show you this clip on its own here, just raw footage of just a couple seconds of the chanting that got on when it was at the end. Right before they took off again, they moved around for hours all day long. And by this time, I mean, there was probably at least 1,000 people there. It was huge. It was a lot of people there. So after that, I'm going to go ahead and give you your tour through my perspective of the true view on the political world. Amen. Okay, great. So here is the very beginning shot here. I'm going to start with a picture of the dragon. Okay, this is the 1% that we know about. So brothers and sisters, if you're a brother and sister in Christ, that's one thing. If you're a brother and sister in Constitution, either way, you're one of those. So we are the 99. Here is the 1%. This is the dragon. This is the beast system. We'll start with that. Okay, so now here is the all-seeing eye that you see. It's called the capstone on top of the dollar bill that we all know about. This is ultimately the eye of Horus, but because they have several different meanings in this world, I believe that eyeball is the eyeball of Lucifer, who the global elite actually worship. They actually worship Lucifer in their own true heart view. Okay, so that's that eyeball right there, just to give you a picture a little bit further. Now here is his right wing. It is the Republican Party. Left wing is the Democratic Party. Right wing, left wing. All right, let's split those up a little bit. Let's go ahead and see it. See that? It's the same Satan. All right, the same Satan that you have the right wing and the left wing, and it's the same Satan. All right, and I put on the top here, we are the people. This is the Constitution that we are. We're brothers and sisters in the Constitution. We are the 99. So whatever you want to believe in other than that, that is up to you, okay? That's got nothing to do. My other views that we have differences in is totally irrelevant. We the people says we all can believe whatever we want, and that's what channel I'm on right now. Okay, so now we can see this whole dragon is the 1%. They are the right wing. They are the left wing. They are the all-seeing eye. They are the global elite. Okay, international bankers and everything. That's them. And they made up this ideology called right wing and left wing in order to cause division. They also do divisions among races and all kinds of other things in order to keep the people not united. United we stand, divided we fall. Okay, so now let's start by showing you a little bit. Let's break down the beast, okay? I started with the Vatican and the Jesuits on purpose because it's from Rome. And ultimately we're going to learn that all horrible, demonic, globalist roads lead to Rome. All bloody, massacre, demonic, manipulating, trickery, behind that curtain type of thing, just evil and black. It all starts from Rome. It's a wicked power, and they are the most powerful nation in the world. Okay, let's move on. Communism, something they raised up in the early 1900s from the Bolsheviks. The story in communism is huge. It goes all over the map to North Korea, Russia, and further than that. I forget the other ones off the top of my head. Let's see. Oh, China, communist China. So that's one of the pictures too. That's one of the things they raised up. Masonic Lodge is another one. That's what our nation actually is. It's a Masonic nation. One nation under God is actually their God, Lucifer, like we've already established that. That's more so what we are. If you break down what we really are as a nation, break it down and you'll find that we are less Christian and more Masonic, which is Luciferian. They are, it's a huge story as to what went into the back of the dollar bill with that all-seeing eye that we see in the middle, the same Satan eyeball right there. The Masonic Freemasons actually had a lot to do with the making of the dollar bill. There's a lot to say about that, but The artist is Nicholas Roerich. He's from the Master Building. He's an early 1900s. They have a Master Building, and I think that was in New York City. I forget if that's where it was or not, but my point is the guy is not a Christian. He's a part of the elite. He's a part of the 1% beast system. Okay, but among the beast system, there is 10 major components. Now, the 10 I'm going to be showing you are not exactly for sure, but it's going to give you a good idea of where I'm going here. And I didn't put the international bankers in here because I just didn't. So let's put the United Nations in there. Sometimes I use the United Nations as kind of like a glue to bind all these nations together. But I was having a trouble remembering off the top of my head, and this is pretty much what this is. The Bilderberger Group, I believe that Obama is a part of this. I believe that Bill Clinton is a part of this, and about probably, I'm not sure if it's like 20 or 30 or 100 people. I forgot how many people are in it, but it's people from all over the world. They gather once a year, and they're one of the most powerful groups in the world. Okay, now here's another one, Council on Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission. They're actually connected together. The Bavarian Illuminati, which everybody knows about that because of the music industry. It's gotten really clear from there. The Thule Society is something really important to bring up because it's actually a very Hitlerian type of a deal. And also among these elite is the KKK. So I would assume that they're connected together in the Thule Society. So among all these things, you're going to find witchcraft, you're going to find Luciferian, you're going to find the Cabal, which is just evil versions of, just it's demonic demon worship or Satan worship with the topical of like Israeli type of talk, like Zionism. It's just Zionism has nothing to do with Israel or Jewish anything. It's just a name they put on top of some of the occultism to make Israel look bad because people don't really see the big picture. So this is just an attempt of helping us look at the big picture so we can really see what in the world is going on. What's the worldview that we should have? This is the worldview that we should have. European Parliament, like I said, it could be the European Union. I don't know what all this stuff. I'm just giving you several of the ones that I've kind of understood for a long time and trying to put the pieces together to help us understand kind of an idea of what could be the beast system. Now, there could be other pieces, and I know it's a huge subject. Every one of these things is a gigantic subject that could last you weeks on end just from one thing here. The United States of America, that's what it's really called, of course, but I call it under satanic authority because that's really what it is. It's a satanic nation. It's a Masonic Luciferian nation. They call him Lucifer. We call him Satan. In Switzerland, they call him CERN or Cernatius or something like that. I forgot the real name. The Dark Underlord. We call him Satan, okay, because he's the fallen. Lucifer doesn't exist. Satan is what he is according to the Christian perspective. But it's under satanic authority or under surveillance always. That's what I call the USA. Now, the next one I wanted to see on the top, I put the Vatican and Jesuits. I bigified it because I wanted us to see 10 examples. It needs to be 10 plus the 1 because Rome is the 7 heads in Revelation 13, and it's also Daniel chapter 2, the iron. Remember, Rome is the iron, and the iron legs or the iron mixed with the toes. That's what these toes are, the 10 toes here mixed with the iron. Iron Rome. And then I put Rome over here on top so you can connect the two. Rome, Vatican, and Jesuits. Some of the most powerful people in the world. I believe that they could be the most powerful. It's amazing how they're connected to all these things. Okay, you do any research, you're going to find out Rome is connected to the United Nations, Masonic Lodge, Communism, where they came from communism ultimately. The other things I haven't named, like Islam, also was raised up by Rome in the 600s, I believe. And Muhammad or whatever was raised there. But I don't really consider Islam to be one of these toes because it's like it seems to be a little bit different in a way because it's more like a mercenary group, an ideology. Same with this right-wing, left-wing thing. It's an ideology just pulled from the air in order to cause the division among the people. Divided we fall, united we stand. Okay, so we got to remember. That's another word I've been learning. Just kind of like really came to my focus is mercenaries. Like a gun for hire. Some guy who's like, hey, I got some dude over here. He's got nothing better to do. He's got a gun. I'll hire him. He's got nothing to do with me. He's got nothing to do with the party being taken out, and I'm going to hire him in order to just get some job done and pay him off and leave it alone. But when it comes to mercenaries, a lot of times they don't get paid off. They get killed off. Saying, well, if you're willing to betray your own country, we don't trust you either. You're just going to take a bill and knock us out, and we can't trust you now that you're obviously not trustworthy. So they take him to camp and behead him and shoot him or whatever they got to do. And that's what mercenaries are. They're just kind of like a pawn being used, and sometimes they might get paid, sometimes they don't. But Islam, is, to me, that's what it looks like, because I believe it came from Rome. All lying roads lead to Rome. All bloody roads lead to Rome. All power control thirsty people and government leaders and international leaders, they are all leading to Rome. Okay, before that it was not. It was Greece before that, and before that it was the Medes and the Persians, and before that it was Babylon, and before that I think it was Syria or Egypt and Syria, in that kind of an order. And as far as the biblical view of 6,000 years of history, that would be the main global. There's always one big power that ruled. So let's just keep looking at Rome here. And now I put on the top of the head the beast system. They're all working together because they ultimately want to be the final global leader. Okay, so when you look at the final global leader right now is ultimately Rome. But Rome already found out the hard way that you can't do it on your own. Okay, so in order to gain all kinds of control, they're willing to put their differences aside and band together in order to get things under control enough, and then probably slowly start to elbow their way to being the number one leader. Like we've seen Babylon, I said Medes and the Persians, they were the global leaders, and then Greece was the global leaders, and then Rome was the global leaders, and then the fall of Rome because of the Huns, or the barbarians, took them out. But they never really fully died out. They still kind of was keeping it alive, and then they started to band other legs, if you will, maybe 10 other legs beneath them, or to team up with them in their strengths to help start to inch towards a global order. Okay, so the beast system is equivalent to one, which is Rome, connected to 10 other ones. Okay, so if you'll see that seven-headed beast in Revelation Chapter 13, crawls out of the ocean having 7 heads and 10 horns. There's the 10 again. Seven heads is of one monster system called Rome. Okay, it's the 7 hills, which actually says that. The 7 heads are the 7 hills. It doesn't say Rome, but you know it's Rome when you start comparing history and you compare the entire council of God together. You'll find out that's the head of the system currently. Like I said, nobody could do it on their own. They only hold on for a while and for a few hundred years before some other nation topples them down, takes them down. So everybody wants to be the king of the mountain, and this is how it's going to be. It's going to be 10 plus 1. That's how it's going to be before the end comes. They're going to wipe all the Christians out. They're going to wipe all the Jews out, and then Christ is going to come and rapture everybody else who has been hiding out in the mountains and whatever, and then all the Christians are going to be at the wedding feast for 7 years, and then Christ is going to come back and judge the world for 1,000 years during the Great Millennium. And that's when everybody's going to find out for sure whether you're going to go to heaven or hell forever after the 1,000-year millennium reign. So that's kind of an idea of it. I didn't mean to go too far on this, but I just wanted everybody to know, ultimately, I've been meaning to make this picture for probably like 8 or 9 years, and I don't know why I didn't. Just all I really wanted to do, picture the devil, just one same Satan. His right wing is a Republican, his left wing is the Democrat, just to causing a division, ultimately to cause them both to fail, so everybody runs right to the heart of the beast. Okay, that's how they control. It's mass mind control number 1, the Hegelian dialectic. 2 opposing views, they both are built to fail, and then people all run to the center. Oh, those didn't work, let's try this one. And now everybody's in agreement for one cause, okay? So there's lots of different steps. America is falling into every single one of them and turning into a tyrannical nation soon. It's very, very dangerous, but that's what we're doing because everybody's going to be falling away from God, and they're going to be giving up all our weapons, and eventually, bam, here we go, falling into the same thing that all the other nations have fallen into. We live in a very safe nation right now. It's not going to stay that way because things are going to get very ugly very soon, because this beast is becoming externalized right now. This hierarchy is being externalized, as we know. They're doing it on purpose. They're slowly showing it to us, and they're probably laughing their heads at all of people, the people, because we're all falling for it. They're like, we're showing you who we are, and yet you're still falling for it. But because they've got us so brainwashed, they're able to show us, and that we're so blind to the truth, we can stare the dragon right in the face, and we don't even see him. We just think he's our friend, like that 1984 thing. The big brother is so wicked, and the guy's trying to fight so hard to get away from him and stop being brainwashed, and they hurt him so bad and chain him up and jail him up and whatever. And by the end of the thing, he's in love with Big Brother, and that's what they're doing to us. They're beating us up, they're messing us up, causing all kinds of useless divisions, religious problems, race problems, political party problems, and everybody's divided, and now we're being taken over from the same way they did it to every other nation throughout history. One thing we can learn from history is that we never learn from history, says Leonard Ravenhill, another great guy from the recent past. But anyways, this is the portrait I had for you. Sorry for taking too long, but there it is. God blessing to everybody. Thank you.